Okay? So when you're trying to create an expression from this, the first thing you need to do, so first you need to actually find a pattern. Or two, if you can. Alright? So recognize what patterns do you see to relate column 1 to column 2. And I guess we should be adding to this, before that I should say, write an expression that relates column 1 to column 2. Okay? So that's what you're doing. So you got this right here, and you're looking for a pattern. This is a more simple pattern. So you're pausing it, figure out what patterns you see relating column 1 to column 2. Hopefully you just paused it, and you figured out, oh, I see this, okay, this is 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 5 is 20, 5 times 5 is 25. So finding a pattern is good. I saw that it was times 5. So secondly, after I find that pattern, now the second thing I'm going to do is use actual numbers to help create an expression. Okay? So I'm using actual numbers to help create this expression. So to do this, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say, okay, well, 1 times 5 equals 5. 1 is column 1. 5 is what I multiply by. And that gives me column 2. Why can't I spell column? Column 2. Alright? You're also going to use the variable C to represent column 1. Okay? So I want to do this to make sure it works. So if I do column 2, so if I'm trying to figure out this second one, I would do 2 times 5 equals 10. Column 2 is 2. I multiplied it by 5. I got 10. So to make sure my thing works, I would go, okay, well 3 times 5 equals 15. Now, I know I have the pattern here. So what I need to do is now I need to put this in variable form. So we said C represents column 1. So instead of writing column 1, I'm going to put a C. Well, I could just take C times 5, and that's going to get me column 2. Here is my expression. Right? So third is write your expression and check it. So I wrote it, and I'm also going to check it. So let's see. Let me make sure. So my expression is C times 5, or I could also write that 5C. If C is the column, if I plug in 5 for C, I get out 25, which is what I want. This works. Okay? Very simple pattern. Way to use numbers to help me find the expression. So now, well, could you not? You could see it, I think. So now let's get down a little farther. Where do you stop? Right here. Okay? Now let's look at this next part. So there's the first part. We follow the same steps. Same idea, but here now is a new table. It's going to say there's 1, Here's a 2. And we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay? So, step 1 says, look for patterns. Well, I see these are all going up by 1. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Those are going up by 1. Notice I saw these were going up by 5, actually. Okay? These ones up here were going up by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And notice that going up by 5 is important. I wonder if this going up by 1 is going to be important. I don't know. We'll see. So those are all going up by 1. How do I go from a 1 to a 9? 1 plus 8 is 9, or 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 9 is 90, but 2 plus 8 is 10. That works. So plus 8 seems to be good. 3 plus 8, 4 plus 8, 5 plus 8, 6 plus 8. I found a couple of patterns. These always go up by 1, and this always seems to be plus 8. Okay? So patterns is column 2 always goes up by 1, and column 1 plus 8 always equals column 2. So I got a couple things in there, alright, that hopefully you can see. So, from here I could say, okay, what can I do with this? So let's start using, now I'm trying to relate 1 to 2, so I like this. So I'm going to say, okay, step 2, use actual numbers. So, if I take column 1, which is a 1, plus 8, so I'm basically add 8, I get column 2, which is what I want, 9. Column 2 plus 8, I get 10. 3 plus 8, I get 11. So I've done it with numbers. Now I do the variable. So, instead of column 1, I use the variable C plus 8. There it is. I could check it, I could move on. Now these two are pretty easy. We're going to move to one, or a couple, that are a little more complex and a little more like what you are going to see on your test. Okay? So let's look at this next one. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. Okay? We're going to do the same thing. What was that step 1 again? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I think it was find a pattern or two. So let me see. You pause it right now and see what patterns you could find. Smart people will actually do this. Not as academic people. We'll just wait for me to tell them. So hopefully you did that. Here's some patterns I see. Let's see. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, but 2 times 1 isn't 4, and 3 times 1 isn't 7, so that doesn't work. 2 times 2 is 4, so I know it's not just like times 1 or times 2. I see these all go up by 1, but I see this 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 3. Okay, so I see these are all going up by 3. My guess is that's going to be important. Now what? How can I go from a 1 to a 1? I don't know. Well, we saw 3 is this important number. What if I took 1 times this 3? Well, 1 times 3 is 3. What would I have to do to that? So 1 times 3 equals 3. But I need to get a 1 right here. Well, what if I subtracted 2? I get a 1. Let's see. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 2 is 4. Uh-oh, we might be in business. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 2 is 7. I think we have found a pattern now. Alright, so how are we going to explain this? Well, I kind of did these all together. But notice, this is a key piece. And I'm giving you a hint right now. This will be a key piece in your test that you're going to take coming up. So, let's go. We have column 1, which is a 1. We said we do it times 3, which is a 3. We did a minus 2 is a 1 equals column 2. So, go ahead and put in my variables. If I take column 1, call it C instead of column 1, times it by 3, I could say C times 3, like this, and then I subtract 2. That could be it. Or I can, instead of calling it 3 times C, I could say 3C minus 2. Either one of these can be my expression. But let me check this. I'm going to plug a 5 in. So I'm going to plug in level 5 and see what happens. 3 times 5 minus 2. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. It works. It's all good. Okay? Just going to give you one more of these. I want you to figure it out on your own. This is the last one.